share some news with everyone in case you haven't heard, but sad to report that Miss B.B. Haskell passed away today. And so we want to, as we go to our time in prayer invocation, we want to remember their family and lift them up as we get started. So just remember the Haskell family in your prayer. So if you'll bow with me, I'll lead us in our prayer tonight. Dear gracious Heavenly Father, we just come before you today and just thank you for allowing us to be here. Thank you for the way you take care of us. Lord, just thank you for this beautiful country that we all live in. Lord, as we mentioned, just be with B.B. Haskell family as they are grieving the loss of her. Just be with that family and let them feel your presence and your comfort, and just wrap your loving arms around them. And Lord, as we come to this time of the meeting, we just ask for your blessings on this meeting and continued blessings on this county. Lord, we just pray for our country and our national and state leaders and our military. And Lord, we just ask you to protect them and bring them back home safe. And Lord, we just are thankful for all that they do for us to protect our country. And Lord, just give us safe travels as we go home this evening. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
We'll stand, we'll pledge to the United States flag and then our Georgia flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And our Georgia state flag. I pledge allegiance to the Georgia flag and to the principles for which it stands, wisdom, justice, and moderation. Thank you all. May be seated, please. At this time, we'll ask the clerk to call the roll of the board and establish a quorum, please.
Commissioner Blakemore.
Present.
Commissioner Askew.
Here.
Chairman Whitfield.
Here.
Commissioner Hart.
Here.
Commissioner Stoltz.
Present.
Okay, all members are present here tonight. Before you board members, you do have our agenda for our regular scheduled meeting here on May the 27th, 2021 at 7 o'clock. We need a motion to approve the agenda, please.
Motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion to approve by Commissioner Stoltz. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Have a second by Commissioner Blakemore. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? Hearing none, that's unanimous approved on our agenda. We do have our minutes in the packet from our regular scheduled meeting back on May the 13th, 2021. So we have those minutes before you. Do we have a motion to approve these minutes as presented?
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Blakemore. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
I have a second by Commissioner Askew. Any further discussion on the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we'll sign those into our record. Okay, at this time, we do have our public comment time that we ask for anyone in our community that would like to come up and speak publicly. We do ask that you come to the podium and speak your name for the record. We do have our clock up here. We do ask everyone to stay within a 5-minute time frame. So is there anyone here that would like to speak tonight? Okay, hearing none, we'll move to our next item on our agenda. We have our informational tonight by Mr. Payne Gilley, our director of our landfill operations. So Payne, would you like to come up and tell us about the landfill and your operation, please?
Thank you, Chairman Whitfield. I'd like to present a few things about the landfill that are probably commonly not known. Hopefully it'll help with our operations in the future and help the community understand a little more about what we do. The landfill is located at 5120 North Marbletop Road in Chickamauga, Georgia. That's in District 2. The site consists of approximately 140 acres. Right now it's permitted to process waste from 9 counties in our region, and that includes Hamilton County, Tennessee. Our operating hours are Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and that gives us about 312 days of operation during the year. And to kind of put that in perspective, if you look at it, say a business that operates Monday through Friday, we're working about maybe 52 to 55 days more than that scenario. We also work several of the county holidays. So if you're at home cleaning up and would like to dispose of something and it's a holiday, feel free to give us a call. There's a good chance that we're open and we can help you out. There's a handout on the table in the back. It's a sort of a site layout map. And looking at the map, in the southern portion, you'll see our landfill entrance and exit off of Marble Top Road. To the west of that is a recycle bin that is available for cardboard, paper, and plastic. And our website offers a nice poster on the types of plastic that we'll take. Moving north, you have the scale house, inbound, outbound scales. Going north on our landfill road, you'll pass the waste oil container. Moving north of that, you've got our office administrative area and our mechanical shop. North of that area, north of that is the transfer station where all the waste is currently going. To the north of that, we have our tire staging area where when we accept tires, we place them there and then dispose of them afterwards. To the west of that transfer station is our tree and brush area. That's a recycling area. The trees and brush are staged there, and once a year they're ground, and then the chips are sold to the public and also sold to a facility in North Alabama where it's burned for fuel. So we have several things in our recycling program that help us as a landfill. We're able to earn points that are deducted from our landfill's fees to the state every year. And last year we recycled 1,400 tons of chips, metal, cardboard, paper, and plastic, and 735 gallons of waste oil. So we're very proud of that. Right now, the landfill team consists of 9 employees, 4 heavy equipment operators, 2 full-time and 1 part-time scale house operator, 1 office administrator / manager / can get it done person, Teresa Jackson. I want to give a nod to Teresa. Thank you. We couldn't do it without you. And then myself. 5 of the employees are certified landfill operators, and these individuals have gone through a program with the state of Georgia, have attended a class, and passed a test to become landfill operators. So we're required by the Georgia rules to have a CLO on site whenever we're open for business or operating. Last year, and I'll give a shout out to the scale house employees, Adam Mapley, Gene Clark, Jenny Goo, and last year Mallory Bradford. They handled 43,377 customers. That's a lot of folks to come across our inbound scales. At this time, we're on track with that number. We're at about 17,000 customers. So it's quite an accomplishment. And our operators do a phenomenal job. Jason Bowman, David May, Brandy Perry, and Skip Lowe do a great job handling the waste that comes through there. A lot of times we'll get calls from folks that say, hey, I've got a drum of liquid in my garage, I'd like to bring it in, can you take it? Well, we have to operate under our design and operations plan that's approved by the state. It tells us what we can accept, what we can't, how we compact it, what we can do with it, and how we generally operate our landfill. And these rules are promulgated from the federal level, the Code of Federal Regulations 40, subpart 258, the criteria for municipal solid waste landfills. That's taken by Georgia, the Department of Natural Resources, Environmental Protection Division, Land Protection Branch, Solid Waste Management Program, and regulated through their rules of solid waste management and the Solid Waste Management Act of 1990 for Georgia. We're also operating under the Multi-Jurisdictional Solid Waste Management Plan for Walker County, dated 2007. So they more or less approve our operating permit. We operate under those guidelines and those rules. And some other regulatory aspects that people aren't really familiar with is that our site consists of a closed landfill that operated from 1977 to 1998, and our current landfill, the construction and demolition landfill, that began operations in 2002. The closed landfill, Site 1, gets inspected once every 2 years by the state. So far, we've achieved a score of 100 on each inspection. The construction and demolition landfill, Site 2, gets inspected twice a year, and we're averaging 95 points on our inspections with them. So the crew out there does a phenomenal job of maintaining the facility, the active and the closed facility. Another regulatory aspect is that there are 24 methane monitoring points at our facility that are monitored 4 times a year, and that data is tabulated and sent into the state. And then we have 34 groundwater monitoring wells at the site that range in depth from 62 to 318 feet, and they're sampled twice a year. That data is tabulated and sent into the state. So there's a real focus on the environment and the state's regulatory and maintaining regulatory compliance at the landfill. Does anybody have any questions?
How long have you been there, Frank?
Let's see. There was a time when I worked in 2000, from 2005 to 2010 for the county, and then I've been there since 2017 as a landfill manager. And that's a great question, because if you look at the combined experience of everybody at the landfill, it's around 55 years of solid waste industry experience. If you take experience from outside of Walker County and add that to it, it brings it closer to 90. So we have a very solid foundation out there. The team's got a lot of experience and does a phenomenal job with the landfill.
It's very informational, Payne. I appreciate that detailed report. That's a lot of stuff you wouldn't know about day to day, would you? You just think that's where the trash goes.
Yes, sir, you're right.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
How many loads a week would you say goes out of the transfer station?
Well, let's see, we load probably 4 trailers a day, and so they're on rotation. There are 5 trailers in our rotation, so we're sending at least 4 a day, so 24.
Are those scaling out about 80,000 or are they?
Yeah,
So
as close to it as we can get it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Good deal.
All right.
Thank you, Pat.
You're welcome.
Good report.
Very good.
Okay, under our new business, we have a resolution to appoint a member to the Northwest Georgia Region 1 Emergency Service Council. Resolution R 19-21, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of Walker County to appoint a member to the Northwest Georgia Regional 1 Emergency Medical Service Council. Whereas the Board of Commissioners of Walker County Board is the governing authority of Walker County, Georgia, and whereas one of the duties delegated to the chairman of the board is to appoint members to committees of the board with the approval of the board, and whereas the Northwest Georgia Region 1 Emergency Medical Service Council coordinates, facilitates the improvement of, and maintains the quality emergency medical service system in our 16-county region. Whereas statewide changes to the region EMS Advisory Council bylaws have resulted in new term dates and length of term, and whereas the term of Chief Blake Hodge, Walker County Representative, has expired, and whereas Chief Hodge has provided exceptional representation as the representative of Walker County and desires to continue to serve on the Northwest Georgia Region 1 Emergency Medical Service Council, whereas Chairman Whitfield submitted the following appointment to serve as a representative of Walker County on the Northwest Georgia Region 1 Medical Service Council, Chief Blake Hodge for a 3-year term ending on June 30th, 2024. Therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of Walker County, Georgia, that the appointment of Chief Hodge is approved, so resolved and adopted the 27th day of May. And in the packet, we do have a letter from Region 1, and I'll read this here. It says, as a result of a statewide change to the Region EMS Advisory Council bylaws, the Region Council has changed the term dates and length of terms. The new term dates run from July 1 through June 30th, for the time period attached as a draft copy of the bylaws that were still to be executed by the Region 1 Council Chair and the DPH Commissioner. Based off the new criteria for appointment, we need you to either renominate your current representative whose term on the Northwest Georgia Region 1 Emergency Council will expire on June 30th of 2021, or nominate a new representative. The positions are not automatically renewed and require renewal or replacement described for this. And it goes on and mentions Blake Hodge. So this is what's prompted this, is this change in their bylaws. We do have 2 representatives to this council. One of those also is Curtis Creekmore, but his term is good at this time. This is the only one that they sent to us that needs to be reaffirmed. So as Chairman wanted to present this to you and present this to you as a motion, and see if we have a second for approval of this resolution.
Second.
We have a second by Commissioner Hart. Any further discussion on this? Okay, hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we'll sign this resolution. Also, signature on this. Okay, our next resolution, R 20-21, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of Walker County to appoint a member to the Lookout Mountain Community Service Board, whereas the Board of Commissioners of Walker County Board is the governing authority of Walker County, Georgia, and whereas the duties delegated to the chairman of the board is to appoint members to all committees of the board with approval of the board, and whereas the state of Georgia created the Lookout Mountain Community Services Board in accordance with the law, and whereas the bylaws of the Lookout Mountain Community Service Board calls for board members to serve 3-year term, and whereas the term of Dr. Neil Florence of Walker County member is set to expire on June 30th, 2021, whereas Dr. Florence has provided exceptional representation as a representative of the Walker County and desires to continue to serve on the Lookout Mountain Community Service Board. Whereas Chairman Whitfield submitted the following appointment to serve as a representative of Walker County on the Lookout Mountain Community Service Board, Dr. Neil Florence, for a term ending June 30th, 2024. Therefore be resolved by the Board of Commissioners of Walker County, Georgia, that this appointment of Neil Florence is approved. So adopted the 27th day of May, 2021. Mr. Neil Florence started in a midterm. We had a resignation back a couple of years ago. We were asked by Lookout Mountain Community Services if we would appoint him because his expertise and knowledge in pharmacy was something that they felt would be very valuable to the board. He agreed to serve, and now his term is ending. They have sent us a letter asking us to reappoint him per their request. So he's done a great job and again is willing to serve. We do not provide any funding for Lookout Mountain Community Services, but based off their bylaws and the way they're set up with the state, they do have the county appoint a couple of members to their board. Our other member is Eddie Upshaw, is on this board. So I'll move this as a motion. Do we have a second to approve this recommendation?
Second, Dr. Neil Florence.
We have a second by Commissioner Stoltz. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we'll sign this into our record as approved. Okay. The next one is R-2121, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of Walker County to appoint a chief building official, whereas the Board of Commissioners of Walker County Board is the governing authority of Walker County, Georgia. Whereas Chapter 34 of the Code of Walker County calls for a chief building official to review certain building permit applications. And whereas there exists a vacancy in the chief building official position, whereas Chairman Whitfield submits the following appointment to serve as chief building official effective immediately. Therefore be resolved, the Board of Commissioners be appoint, we'll fill in the blank, is approved, so resolved and adopted the 27th day of May. What has happened here, this is just clearly an oversight of mine, and this goes back to when Commissioner Askew, Mark Askew, worked for Walker County as one of our building inspectors.
Building official, code official.
Yeah, he was a building inspector, and he was a code official and building official.
Yes.
And so once he left county employment, this was just something that we just overlooked, and it has not surfaced until just recently. And what's driving this is we have an application that needs to be reviewed per our guidelines, and we don't have someone officially in this position. So I know we've talked and looked at this situation, and I think the recommendation would be is to appoint David Brown to this position, since he is our planning and zoning director, deals with these situations on a daily basis. So unless y'all feel differently or have a different recommendation, we can move forward with that, or we'll open it up for discussion.
You coming with it in the form of a motion?
Yes.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, so we have a second to appoint David Brown to this position. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor of appointing David Brown as the chief building official, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we'll sign this into the record, and we'll get the clerk to fill in David's information. Thank y'all for that. Okay, next resolution we have is a resolution of the Board of Commissioners, Walker County, to declare property from various departments as unserviceable surplus and removed from county inventory. Whereas OCGA 36-9-2 provides that the county governing authority shall have the control of all property belonging to the county, and may by order enter into its minutes direct the disposal of any real property which may lawfully be disposed of, and make and execute good and sufficient title thereof on behalf of the county. Whereas various departments within Walker County government has requested property listed on Exhibit A be deemed unserviceable surplus, and further requests that the property be removed from county inventory. And therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of Walker County that the property listed in Exhibit A attached hereto and made part of hereby declare unserviceable surplus and removed from county inventory. So resolved and adopted the 27th day of May 2021. What you have is just kind of a, for lack of terms, kind of a hodgepodge of mostly chairs and some tables and some small desks and a couple of credenzas and some things of that nature, a microwave, an old wore-out weed eater, some things of this. This is stuff that's just been accumulated probably for, honestly, by looking at some of it, probably a couple of decades, really. And this is the first time I know since I've been commissioner that we've taken action on any of these type things. Historically, surplus has been larger equipment, vehicles, these type things. But we asked all of our departments to bring this type things to our ag center. We laid it out, so if a department says, hey, I can use that table, or this one would fit better, or I want to trade this, that, and the other, we said, take it, as long as you're putting it back in your county office operation. You can't take it home because it's going to be surplus. And we feel like pretty much everybody has gone through everything and taken what they need and brought what they want to give up. And some of this stuff's been stuck in closets and under buildings and attics and above the roof lines and different things. So this is something that we need to get taken care of, and we're going to auction these items off. And then anything that doesn't sell at some price, we want to give people hopefully a good bargain. But if the stuff doesn't sell, some of this stuff's going to get to go over and see Mr. Payne Gilly.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chair, when we auction this, we'll be using an auction
Yes.
firm.
Yeah, we will definitely use a third-party company to manage this for us, absolutely. Yeah, good question, good point.
Any thoughts on when this might be?
We want to get this done right away so we can get it cleared out. We want to try to get this done quick. So once this action, we'll get started on this immediately.
That's good.
Anything else? All right, do we have a motion to approve this resolution?
I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion by Commissioner Blakemore. Do we have a second?
Second.
A second by Commissioner Stoltz. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, this resolution is approved to move forward with surplusing these items. All right, Resolution 23-21, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of Walker County to authorize the chairperson to spend up to $250,000 on the purchases of fire hydrants. Whereas the Board of Commissioners of Walker County is the governing authority of Walker County, Georgia, set forth by Act Number 165. Act passed the Georgia General Assembly during the 2017-2018 session, subsequently approved by the governor. And whereas Part 1, Section 10 of the Act authorizes the chairman to spend not more than $25,000 without approval of the board. Whereas the chairman seeks a one-time approval to spend up to $250,000 to purchase fire hydrants to provide expanded fire protection throughout the county. And whereas the chairperson has received a number of quotes and continues to receive specifications to ensure these quotes contain hydrants that are compatible with our current system. And whereas the county budget for new fire hydrants in the 2020 SPLOSH and was awarded a community grant from the Ironman Foundation to purchase additional fire hydrants. Therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of Walker County, Georgia, that the chairperson is authorized to spend up to $250,000 this fiscal year on the purchase of new fire hydrants. This was an item that we had at our last meeting that we were hoping to, this meeting, since we tabled that, to have all of our information in. What we're finding is just a wide range of pricing that's coming in. We have some vendors that are seeing this and know that this is a competitive situation, so they're going back, trying to get additional manufacturing support. But also, I laid at y'all's chair here tonight our Walker County ordinance information on the specifications of a fire hydrant, and we have noticed that not all that have submitted in a quote were meeting all of these qualifications, so we sent that back and said, hey, make sure you follow these guidelines. So I have learned a lot about fire hydrants in the last couple of weeks, more than I ever dreamed of, that goes into the specifications of these. As this says, our SPLOSH budget, we have budgeted $250,000 in there. Also, this Ironman Foundation commitment over a 5-year commitment with them is $160,000. So we're supposed to have started receiving some of that money last year, but due to COVID and them not having races, they asked if they could hold off on that. They talked like they were going to submit some of that money to us this year after they got started. But due to incoming price increases into the market for material, we want to go ahead and try to take action on this, and then we would spend up to no more than that amount. And that may come up being a combination of Ironman money that may come in or SPLOSH money, but either way, we've got it covered. And we feel like this will probably allow us to purchase about 99 fire hydrants. So that'd be 11 pallets. We've got a couple of projects underway. We have one currently up on Lookout Mountain in the Hinkle community, where that area is currently serviced by Dade County Water and Sewer Authority. And they got a grant from USDA to put in a 6-inch water line to upgrade a 2-inch line. And it provided some fire hydrant connections on it, but our fire chief went up and looked at that and said, based off proper spacing, we need to add about 7 more to that project. And we can do that as they're building that line out. So that's driving this. Also, in our District 4 up in the High community.
Yes, sir.
With Fort Payne Water coming in. Hopefully, I know they last reported they have 23 customers that have signed up. They're trying to get to 50. They feel like they'll reach that very quickly. When they put in their service line, they're going to need about 30 fire hydrants for that project. So we will be providing those. Also, we've got some other water projects that we're aware of from Walker County Water and Sewer Authority. Lofton Lane is one of those that's got some old small lines that we've been approved by the state to upgrade those to 6-inch lines. So we'll want to put fire hydrants down through that area 1,000 foot apart. And so we feel like we will very quickly, go through these 99 hydrants. And so it's a big purchase, it's a big investment, but every household or business that is within 500 feet of one of these hydrants is going to see a good savings on their homeowners, because it's going to get them into that sweet spot of being within 500 feet. And so this will save our citizens money, and that's one reason that Iron Man was so excited when we made that proposal to them to provide fire hydrants, because it's perpetual, it's ongoing. Those homeowners are going to see that savings year after year after year. And so one of our goals is, everywhere possible, the hydrants that they're funding especially is to put them on the route that Iron Man has their races, because we know that the citizens in that area, have to work around those race days, and Iron Man wanted to give something back. And so that's why they made that commitment from their funds. So wanted to present this to you tonight so we can get this going. I was hoping we'd have all the quotes by tonight, but we don't. But we feel like this is an exciting time. So do we have any further questions, or do we have a motion to approve this resolution?
I got a question.
Sure.
So will all those hydrants be used this year, do you think, Shannon, or is that something that we'll have?
I would say that's probably going to be 18 months worth or so, 18, maybe 24 months, but they will be used fairly quickly. In the past, because we didn't have money, we didn't have these many projects going, they were buying ones and twos.
Right.
And it's a very expensive way to buy.
Yes.
And so this will give us a good inventory to work from over the next 18, 24 months.
Okay.
And also you'd mentioned when we talked earlier, that we're gonna be filling in some gaps.
Yes.
In the county, where to continue to keep our ISO rating low, and filling in some gaps that over time we haven't been able to do. So it's an exciting thing.
Yeah, that's a good point. Where we've got a line that's 6 inches or larger, you can successfully put a fire hydrant on it and get the flow. And that's where we've got some lines in our community that are 2 inch, like on Lofton Lane is one example, that are old lines.
Old Bethel.
And Old Bethel is a part of that project.
That's part of all that project.
That's part of that
Yeah,
project that's
great.
going to take place this year. So that community around Old Bethel, Lofton Lane and all is going to see new fire hydrants this year. That'll come out
So
of this.
if we approve this tonight to get ahead of the increase, where's the money gonna go from Iron Man as it comes in?
It will still be earmarked for fire hydrants, so we will definitely, we have that need. Even when you take those two amounts and add them together, we could spend probably 2 or 3 times that, as big as our county is. So I hope next round of SPLOST that the Board of Commissioners at that time continues to fund fire hydrants, because there's been a lot done in our community, and the prior administration did a lot with our improvement of our ISO rating and putting fire hydrants and water lines out. And so this is just building off of that, and it's going to probably be over the next 10 or 12 years to really get the county filled out.
Okay.
But yeah, that Iron Man money will definitely still stay into our fire hydrant commitment. Absolutely. Good question. Good question. All right, anything else?
Sure.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve this resolution?
I'll make a motion to approve this resolution.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Blakemore. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion approved. Okay. Have a resolution R24-21, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of Walker County to adopt a fee schedule set forth in the Walker County Landfill, material list and price guide. Whereas the board desires to establish the fees at the Walker County Landfill for the disposal of various materials, and whereas the board has the authority to set aside fees pursuant to the Walker County Code of Ordinance, and whereas the board periodically implements rate changes at the landfill in order to maintain solid waste services, therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of Walker County, Georgia, that the fees associated with the Walker County Landfill material list and price guide shall be set forth in Exhibit A, attached hereto, made part thereof, so resolved and adopted the 27th day of May 2021. As you can see from this price list, it's quite interesting to see the type of things that we do accept at the landfill. One of the things that this really, the major change to this is setting a differential on everything for people out of the county. So we make sure that our county residents are getting the lowest price. And so they simply can do that by showing their ID. If someone doesn't want to show their driver's license, that's okay. They will just pay the out-of-county rate. But most people, when they see that there is a cost savings to be a county resident, but as we heard from Payne Gilley today, we do receive product from about 9 different counties. We're authorized to do that in our permitting. But once we took a closer look at this price sheet, you'll see the current rate and the effective proposed rate being effective August 1. We had a lot of our line items that the county rate and the out-of-county rate was identical. So this we went through, and on, I believe, every single line item, there is a differential now. Also, on our transfer station, we are receiving a rate increase from our vendor that transfers the transfer station material over to Alabama. So we are going to have a $1 per ton increase there for municipal solid waste on that. So this, again, would not go into effect until August 1, so we give time for our commercial haulers and also our local residents to be notified of this, and we'll publish this on our website and at the scale house and send copies of this out to our commercial accounts or anyone that has a charge account with the landfill. This is something our landfill director, Payne Gilley, and I worked on together and looked at the numbers and where we need to be, because our landfill operation needs to be self-supported and self-funded, because as we indicated, we have a lot of product and trash that comes from other communities, and we don't want to put that burden on the property tax owners. And so when your landfill operation loses money, the way that's funded and offset is by property taxes. And so you have to do a transfer out of the general fund over into this fund to offset that shortage. And so trying to get our rates up to a point where we can keep our landfill operating and being self-sufficient, self-sustaining. Any questions on this?
Mr. Chair, how long has it been since there's been a rate increase?
We had a rate increase back in April of 2017 that we had a rate increase, and then there was a little bit of a modification back in January of 2021 on a couple of line items, but this is really the full across-the-board review of this. So we try to hold rates as long as we can, but we have experienced increased cost. And then one thing that really got us looking at this is when our vendor told us that they were having a price increase due to their costs going up as well. So we knew we need to look at this. That price increase actually goes into effect July 1, I believe it is. Yes, July 1, but we wanted to give people time to adjust to this and, give some notice to our citizens and our business owners. So we felt like it was probably in good order just to push that back 1 month.
Thank you.
Do we feel like that this increase, and Mr. Gilley, this will be a question for you, do you feel like this increase is going to sustain us for some time? Is this where we need to be? I mean, I know y'all have worked on that together, but with the increase in
But we can expect another price increase next year.
okay. So that's what I was basically asking, is how long will this sustain us, and so this will get us through a year?
Yeah, they'll review it in April.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, this is something that we probably need to take a look at every single year, because we're anticipating the industry and the vendors are going to go up every year.
Can we rebid this next year?
We could. I believe so. I believe.
But,
Yeah.
what I'm worried about, if we keep inching up on prices, there's just gonna be more mattresses on the side of the road, more trash
Oh, yeah.
on the side of the road.
Yeah, that's always the problem.
Yeah. In comparison, especially mattresses, looking at one of our neighboring counties, their mattress price was $22 per mattress. And so even at this, our mattresses are going to go from $10 to $12.50 in county and from $11.50 to $15 out of county. And so that's still, even on out of county, about $7 cheaper than our closest neighbor is. But, yeah, mattresses take up a lot of airspace and they're about impossible to compact, and it allows less tonnage to go on a truck when we have a lot of mattresses. Those are a challenge. Good questions. Anything else? Okay, do we have a motion to approve this material and price guide?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Stoltz. Do we have a second? Second. Have a second by Commissioner Hart. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Okay, last item that we, well, not the last item, excuse me, not the last item. The next item on our agenda is for our commissioner comments. So we'll start again with our District 1. Commissioner Blakemore, anything you'd like to add tonight?
Yeah, just appreciate everybody coming out. My deepest condolences to the B.B. Haskell family I worked under. She was a great lady and a great loss to Walker County.
Very good, thank you.
I'd like to add to that as well. I had the pleasure of working under her for about 16 years, and like I said, her heart and soul was in the county, and she did us a great job, and we're gonna sorely miss her. And I'd also like to mention our Flags and Crosses dedication on Memorial Day. I know that several of us will be involved with that, and I think that's like to see a good turnout for that and really support the effort. So outside of that, everything else is good.
Okay.
Yeah, to add to what Mark said, that event is, just so everybody knows, that the Lafayette Recreation Department.
My bad.
On Monday at 5 o'clock. Yeah, the Lafayette Women's Club and the American Legion Post 339 have put a lot into that. If you haven't been by there, you should go by and take a look at it. It's really neat. Another thing is, next Friday, June the 4th, our Sheriff's Department and Catoosa County Sheriff's Department are doing a blood drive. So if you have the opportunity to go by the sheriff's office and donate blood, that would be good, between 10 and 5. Yeah, 10 and 5 next Friday, June the 4th.
You can make an appointment.
And you can make an appointment. I didn't even know that. It's good.
Mr. Stoltz.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank everyone for coming tonight. And just to reiterate about Memorial Day, let's get out and show up, and let's pay tribute to the men and women who sacrificed the greatest sacrifice for our freedoms that we have. Also want to mention the vaccination station at the Colonnade. We'll be going to 1 day a week vaccinations. It'll be on Thursdays, 5:30 to 7:30. We've got COVID on its heels, but let's keep pushing forward. Let's get our county vaccinated. I'll be there next Thursday. Come see me and give a thumbs up for Walker County. And finally, just thoughts and prayers for Miss BB's family. She was a great lady. Like you guys, I worked with her for a number of years, and she was always very kind and very pleasant, and she will be missed. Thank you.
Very good. Also, I want to share with everyone, due to some training that several of us board members will be doing, we will not have our regular meeting on June the 10th. Due to some training through our association, we're required to have annual training every year. So we will be away at that. So we will have our next meeting that's scheduled at this point would be the last Thursday in June, or the fourth Thursday, which may or may not be the last Thursday. But we typically meet the second and fourth Thursday of each month, but we will not be meeting the second Thursday in June, but we will be meeting the fourth Thursday in June.
The 25th.
The 25th, thank you for that. Yeah, the 25th of June will be our next regular scheduled meeting. And again, we want to all come together and offer our condolences for the BB Haskell family, and our prayers are with that family. And we did get a post out today from all of us here at the county staff and administrative and our board that's on our website and also on Facebook. And we tried to capture many of the accomplishments that she was able to get done in our county, and a lot of positive things over her 16 years as sole commissioner. So check that out on our Facebook page, and you'll see the work that she did and the public service that she did for our community. So thank you for that. Okay, If we have a need for an executive session, we will need to state the purpose of our executive session. So do we have anyone to make a motion for executive session?
I'll make a motion, we go into executive session for discussion of personnel matters.
Okay, so we have a motion for executive session by Commissioner Askew. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
I have a second by Commissioner Blakemore. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, it is 7:45, and we will adjourn for executive session, and then we will be back to close out our meeting. 8:57 still on May the 27th, 2021. We've come out of our executive session with our attorney to discuss some personnel items. We have no further business to bring before the public at this time from our executive session. So with that, do we have a motion to adjourn our regular scheduled meeting tonight?
I'll make a motion to adjourn our regular scheduled meeting.
We have a motion by Commissioner Blakemore to adjourn. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Commissioner Stoltz. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we are concluded at 8:58 p.m. Hope everyone has a great holiday weekend, and see y'all back here on the 24th of June. Thank y'all. Everyone have a good night.